All right, welcome back to the Delete Laws channel. The goal here is to delete laws that are antithetical to real human liberty. Thank you guys for being here. I want to go ahead and get started with a couple of things, but the first thing I want to talk about is a message that I received today. Well, actually, it came through the Delete Laws channel, but I want to address it because, I hear this a lot. I hear the accusation of he's a con man or he's a fraudster or he's a grifter. I don't think people understand. Maybe they do. I don't know. I don't think they understand what the word grifter means. So I'm going to read this and I do want to respond to it. This is from Rick Middleton. He said, Brian, I genuinely want you to comment on this. I know you won't because my statement will contain facts, honesty, and common sense. We all know all of you chilly enablers avoid those at all costs. That right there, like if you want to engage in an honest dialogue with somebody, that is the perfect way to build a defense. Now, I don't personally have a defense because I think that truth fears no scrutiny. And if the bottom line, if the tenor of your life is that you want the truth and you want to operate on the plane of truth, and you really believe that you're doing what is right, then you won't mind if somebody challenges your position or somebody challenges your politics or somebody challenges your actions. So I don't mind this stuff. I never have because, Confucius said, I think it was Confucius, he said the most comfortable pillow you will ever own is a clear conscience. If you have a genuinely clear conscience and you're operating in purity of heart and you really, really want the truth and you really, really want justice, then what does it matter what people say to you? Let me see. Can you guys let me just check the stream. Can you guys hear me okay? Because I don't see anybody commenting in the stream. It says it's going. Maybe I should have checked real quick. Let me just double check. I don't even see anybody in here. No, it says it's going. I don't know. Let me know if you guys can see it. I don't even see any. There's no comments populating on the comments page on StreamYard, which is weird. Test. Huh. That's strange. Let me hold on one second, guys. This doesn't usually happen. Why would this be happening? Yeah, I see you guys like when I pull up a window, but I don't think I can keep this window open without it getting all wonky. You guys let me know if it's getting wonky. StreamYard is being buggy. I don't see any video clip. I didn't put up a video clip. Can't see comment on here because I might. Oh, I can't comment on here. Okay, so I can see you on an alternate screen, but I do not see you. I wonder if there's a refresh screen. Let's see comments. Oh, there we go. They repopulated. Let me just check again. Okay, it's going now. I don't know what happened. Yeah, truth fears no scrutiny. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to read this. It says, you knowingly aided in the grift of Chile, begging for contributions to go to a GoFundMe when all of you knew there was no way he was getting out of jail. I didn't know there was no way that he was getting out of jail. I mean, the likelihood that you're going to get out of jail when there's an injustice system, there's a likelihood, but there's always a hope that somebody's going to get out of jail. I don't personally like the fact that we're dumping tens of thousands of dollars into the laps of lawyers who aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. They got one job and they're not doing it. I don't like the fact that we live under an injustice system calling itself and trying to pass itself off as a justice system who is going to incarcerate and cage an individual who literally harmed no one, threatened no one, didn't damage anybody's property. But here Chile is, and many Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of others across the United States are unrighteously, unjustly caged for no reason other than to become tax cattle for the state, because they do generate revenue. The whole idea of funneling all those bodies into the cattle pen is for money. It is a prison industrial complex. So I didn't have any idea that they absolutely would not free him. So this is an assumption. It's an assumption that there's a grift. It's an assumption that we thought that something was going to happen that we didn't. I have no way of knowing. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't go inside Zimmerman's head. I had no idea initially that Chile would act like he did in the courtroom, which was highly unadvisable. But even in acting like that, he operated under the freedom of speech and shouldn't have been penalized for it. But we all know that he was penalized for exactly that. We all know, even the detractors, even the people who call Chile a fraud, admit that he's probably in jail because of the way he acted. A lot of them said that. I've covered that. No less than 3 or 4 have said that exactly. And 2 of those, well, actually, no less than 5, 2 of those were lawyers who said he is likely in jail because he rubbed Ann Zimmerman the wrong way. Well, guess what they just admitted? They just admitted that it is an injustice system and that Ann Zimmerman acted without justice. She acted as a tyrant. They can say all day, Brian, you don't understand. He did not go to jail for First Amendment, free speech, and freedom of the press. He went to jail because he obstructed a police officer. He went to jail because he jeopardized officer safety. Oh, did he really? Then why are even the people who call us fraudsters saying that he went to jail because he didn't act the way he should have acted in court? Which I agree. Shouldn't have acted like that. Not a good look. Not a good way to rub somebody who's already drunk on their own power in a bad way. Lifting up those black robes and revealing what's really under them. And I'm not talking about physically. I'm talking about metaphorically. Yeah, you probably don't want to act like that on somebody who's inebriated on their own drunken stupor power. So we all know that he's in jail because he rubbed a particular person the wrong way, Ann Zimmerman. And that right there is the highlight. It's capitalized, it's bolded, it's italicized, it's underlined. He's in jail because he exercised freedom of speech. Even the detractors will tell you that unwittingly. So they've admitted that the system that they are defending as they mock us is the very system that is acting the way that we say they're acting, and that is unjustly. So give me a break, anybody who calls him, fraudster. Oh, yeah, that's not unjust. He deserves to be rotting in prison. Yeah, well, he's rotting in prison for freedom of speech because somebody got their feelings hurt. That's the long and the short of it. And to say the opposite is actually just not being honest with what's going on. Says, so they say that we all knew that there was no way he was getting out of jail or even have a chance to use that money for the supposed purpose implied. That's just an assumption. And when you assume, what happens? You make an ass out of you and me. Actually, when you assume, you make an ass out of you. Are you or Chile going to offer to return that money? No way. Then you 2 grifters doubled down on the scamming. And even after his bail was denied, you 2 con artists had the gall, the G-A-U-L, the capital G-A-U-L, to go on the channel and beg again for more donations. Really? Let me just go over something real quick before
the Minnesota man charged with stabbing.
There's two more little excerpts from this guy, but I want to just show you what grifter means. I know it's all basic. It's super basic. A person who engages in petty or small scale swindling. So you might wonder, well, what's swindling? What's a swindler? A person who uses deception to deprive someone of money or possessions. So getting back to what this guy says, talking about we're scammers and con artists and grifters, which is a person who's engaged in small scale swindling. And swindling is what? It's using deception to pry people out of their money. What deception is employed when you just say, hey, Chili's in jail, let's help him out? Where's the deception? I guarantee if somebody said, I guarantee if we give money, we're going to be able to get him out of jail. Who said that anywhere? That would be a grift. That would be a con. That would be deception. That would be employing lies so that you get people to give. But when you're saying, hey, we've got this link to this GoFundMe, we're all going to pitch in and help Chili out. Hey, by the way, here's his inmate number. If you want to add to his commissary, here, you can do that too. It's all under free enterprise. It's all under a voluntary system. No scamming going on. But people insist that you're a grifter when they don't even understand. Well, I'm guessing that they may not understand. Maybe they do, and they're being disingenuous and just calling you a grifter, con man, swindler, fraudster. Anyway, all these people who are out there calling you a fraud because they don't like the fact that you went into a post office or outside of a business on a public sidewalk and turned the camera on, that is not fraudulent. That is not engaging in deceptive practices. As a matter of fact, it's the opposite. You're engaging in a completely open practice where you're showing everybody exactly what you're doing. Matter of fact, you're more out in the open than those cameras that they have on the side of banks that nobody pays attention to, or inside post office that nobody pays attention to. While people are going ballistic on you, there's a dozen other cameras pointed exactly in their direction, but it's not just a camera pointed at you. It's got biometric facial recognition and gait recognition technology. You don't have that, but they do. But you're the one they're going off on because they actually see the camera. It's in their face, and you're not being deceptive about pointing it at them. This guy says, I'm a very proud Army veteran who served his country with respect and honor that this country deserves. Well, you just fell prey to deception because that may be what your recruiter told you. That may be what the propaganda machine turned out and you bought into. But you got conned by the military industrial complex saying, if you sign on the dotted line, you are going to be serving your country. You're going to keep it safe for democracy. They'll even say that. That's a lie. It's not a democracy if you want to be honest about it. It's a constitutional representative republic, which is not a democracy. It's not supposed to be mob or majority rule. There's supposed to be representation across the board. But that's another story. So you got conned, you got swindled by the Army recruiter in the military industrial complex to the point where even today, with the advent of the internet and everything that you can learn about what's actually going on in the world, you actually are going to stand by saying you're a proud Army veteran and that you served this country. You did. If you were in the military, you may have thought you were going to serve this country. You may have been conned into thinking you were going to serve the country. You may be swindled into signing on the dotted line for this country, but it wasn't for this country that you were fighting. It was for the military industrial complex. Yep, that check. It was for the Pentagon. Yep. It was for the defense contractors. Yep. It was for all the lobbyists, the thousands of lobbyists who run Washington's district of criminals, but it wasn't for America, and it definitely wasn't for Americans. Troops deployed in 130 different countries, 700 military bases in 130 different countries do not serve the interests of Americans. They serve the interests of the military industrial complex. And you got conned into believing that. And now you are conning people into believing that you actually served our country with respect and honor. You served the banksters, because all wars are banksters' wars. Every bomb that is dropped in the name of Americans, but Americans don't endorse war. The banksters do. And then they use fake stream CIA infiltrated Operation Mockingbird, MK Ultra Media to propagandize, because they are the propaganda arm for the military industrial complex, to get the masses, the unthinking masses, into believing that they're actually supporting the country when they're supporting the military industrial complex. That's why at NFL games, they do flyovers. They fly the American flag. They tell you that, an army of one, be all that you can be. It's all military industrial complex, Army recruiter lies from top to bottom. And you bought into it. And now you're calling people who are asking people, if you want to donate to the cause of an innocent man who shouldn't be in jail on a voluntary basis, nobody twisting any arms, nobody employing any deception, and you're going to call us con men and grifters and fraudsters. Unfrickin' believable that we actually live. I wake up every morning going, I hope we don't live in the world that I came to know yesterday and the day before. I hope it's a little bit better today. And it almost seems to get worse. Yeah, I agree, Bill Bradley. Patriotism is the big con. What are you being patriotic to? I mean, really? Who fabricated the PR campaign that you're buying into? Was it Miller? Was it Bud Light? Did the dancing Clydesdales down the streets of New York carrying a big fat beer keg in the back with a military flyover with the B-1 stealth bomber and the fighter jets? Is that what got you into it? Patriotism is a massive scam. And then they condemn you for your lack of patriotism when you realize that the real patriotism that they're actually talking about is, hey, bow the knee to Boeing and to Northrop Grumman and to BAE Systems. When I see grifters and disingenuous YouTubers such as you and Chile call yourself protectors, freedom fighters, and activists, I just want to throw stuff. Well, go ahead and throw stuff. If you can prove that we're not protectors, freedom fighters, and activists, does that mean we don't make mistakes in what we say and what we do sometimes? Get the flick out of here. Get the flick out of here. You are none of those things. And when you erroneously make such clearly false claims, you sow nothing but disrespect those of us who actually did those things. Did what? When you were in the army, you were literally working for the Rothschilds international banking cartel. You were literally working for the very people who promote the big pharma industrial complex, the military industrial complex, the prison industrial complex, the fake stream media industrial complex. These are the people who own the outlets who propagandized you, and you chose to believe it. Instead of employing critical thinking, you chose to just sit there and just believe what you were being fed without questioning it. And you became an order follower. The very person, and I'm talking about any order follower, any person who turns his mind off and actually dims the light of his heart so that he can just follow orders and do what his upper echelon says to do. You became the very order follower who brings most, if not all, the world the evil that we so desperately don't need. We all know that matters zero to you, because if it doesn't fit into your grift, that is a swindle. If it doesn't fit into your framework of deception, then it doesn't exist. So now you made the accusation, and accusation without substantiation is the height of ignorance. What's his name? Rick. Accusation without substantiation is the height of ignorance. So you made the accusation. You need to substantiate that we are con men who have employed deception in simply saying, hey, we got a GoFundMe. If you want to help Chile out, here it is. How is there even any deception in that? And if there is, guys, I could totally be blind to the fact that there is deception. I could be blind to that. I want to know about it. Because truth and people who pursue truth, they don't fear scrutiny. There's something else. All of you strive to reach the lowest common denominator of audience because in your mind, you believe that demographic to be the easiest to manipulate and sway. What the heck? When I bring onto a live broadcast a criticism that may or may not be legitimate, how is that appealing to the lowest demographic? I always tell people, hey, don't believe anything until you can verify it. Now, on the practical scale, there's a lot of things that we just believe, and I don't know how the internal combustion engine works, but I'm not going to pop the hood every time and try to figure out exactly how everything works. I just know that it does work. And I believe that the engineers who put the brakes on my car knew what they were doing. Like, there's certain things that you don't take the time to verify, and you could. but it would take a long time. If you verify the legitimacy of everything, like verifying the legitimacy of the safety of the water that you drink. Now, I highly suggest that you maybe send it off and have it tested, because there's stuff in there you probably shouldn't be drinking. But I mean, we don't test we don't verify the soundness of an electrical outlet when we rent an Airbnb. Hey, let's make sure this thing ain't going to burn down to the ground before we all go to sleep tonight. There's so many things. Let's check the air purity today before we step outside. There's a lot of things that we just take on belief. This right here, this March for Freedom, it ain't one of them. We can test it. And sometimes it gets complex. Sometimes the deception gets a little murky. And sometimes you got to wade through things, and you got to find things, because it's covered. It's like an onion. There's layers and layers of lies in this thing, and you got to keep peeling and peeling. It's like our lives are just peeling deceptions off so you can get to the bottom of what the truth actually is. And then when you think you found it, that's just one more layer you got to remove. So we're appealing to that demographic that's the easiest to manipulate and sway. So what is he actually doing? He's using ad hominems to attack me without substantiation, and he's doing that he's doing the same thing to anybody who might want to be listening to this. You're the lowest common denominator in his mind. And all I'm saying, and I think all Chili's saying, and a lot of us are saying, is, hey, use your own noggin. In the words of my 4th grade English teacher, put on your thinking caps. Don't let somebody else do your thinking for you. Don't just do something because somebody told you to do it. It's like your mom always said, if they told you to jump off a bridge, would you do that too? Well, if you're part of the military, guess what the answer is? Yeah, I have to do it. I'll get court-martialed if I don't. And I signed on the dotted line voluntarily saying that I would do it. I'm signing basically, when you sign on the dotted line to become a part of the military industrial complex as an infantryman in the air, as an airman, or as an Army Ranger, or as a Navy SEAL, or as an officer, or just a regular enlisted person, you're signing on the dotted line to be an order follower and to comply with all the commands. You're signing your soul away. It's the same thing with law enforcement. It's the same thing with being a deputy in a sheriff's department. You are signing your soul away to be an order follower. If that ain't the lowest demographic and the easiest to manipulate and sway, I don't know what is. Who would do that? Just keep spouting your nonsensical diatribe, he says, and the rest of us will be sitting back with our popcorn, enjoying the waterworks show. That tells me all I need to know about Rick. There ain't nothing about this that's enjoyable. It's not enjoyable to know that there's frauditor or anti-auditor channels out there. It's not enjoyable to know that there are black robe tyrants initiating unjust evil upon people who haven't violated anybody else's rights. There ain't nothing enjoyable about this. I would rather have a channel where I'm just entertaining the masses. That would be so much easier. It'd be way more lucrative, be way more fun. The opportunity for you to get in trouble or incur the ire of anybody would be extremely minimized. There's nothing about seeing a man go to jail and then watching people applaud a guy sitting in jail. There's nothing enjoyable about that. Nothing at all. It's just, and that you have to take a position against evil is insane to me. It's like, no, I don't think it's a good idea for you to sacrifice your children to the volcano god. Shut up, you outsider. You freaking conspiracy theorist. We got to make sure that there's plenty of rain this summer for our crops. We have to appease the volcano god. But you're there going, guys, it is absolutely wrong to sacrifice your children to this volcano god in the hopes that it will continue to rain and irrigate your crops. You're the conspiracy theorist, though. The most dangerous superstition in the world is not some religion that makes you bow down to a wooden statue. The most dangerous superstition in the world is a person who bows down to government and sees the government as somehow valid and moral and necessary. Well, you don't understand, Brian. It's a necessary evil. Okay. If we didn't have law enforcement agents, people would be breaking into our houses, stealing our cars. Guess what? People break into our houses and steal our cars with law enforcement. As a matter of fact, a lot of those people who break into your houses are law enforcement. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Ask Dennis Tuttle what he thinks about the Houston Police Department breaking into his house on a false allegation. Oh, that's right. You can't ask Dennis or Regina or their dog because they're no longer with us. Ask Daniel Shaver what he thinks, innocent Daniel Shaver, what he thinks about being swarmed in the hallway of a La Quinta Inn in Mesa, Arizona by the Mesa Police Department. Ask him what he thinks about the state of tyranny in our nation. Ask him if he thinks it's somewhat similar to the Gestapo from the 1930s Germany. Oh, that's right. You can't ask Daniel Shaver either because he's no longer with us. Maybe we can ask Philando Castile. No. Kelly Thomas. Nope. James Boyd. Nope. You can't ask him either. And I bet you anything, if we could sit down with the people who had the boot of tyranny on their neck for no freaking reason, they would be singing a different song than these people who are sitting in their easy chairs in front of a computer, condemning people who are trying to expose that evil. Like Johnny Wheatcroft. He's around. He was shamed and humiliated and demoralized and dehumanized in front of his children, his two screaming kids, as, what was his name? Matthew Schneider tased him repeatedly in the private parts as he was screaming. The man was 100% innocent. And the video shows that Schneider and his gang of evildoers was 100% guilty. And to add insult to injury, 1 month prior to Schneider tasing Johnny Wheatcroft in the private parts, in front of his screaming children and his distraught wife, while they were just sitting in a parking lot in a hotel. 1 month prior to that, Live PD or Cops or one of those shows highlighted Officer Matthew Schneider as one of the boys in blue who's out there protecting and serving the community. And how often have we seen independent journalists travel around following Live PD as they're following cops who are infringing on the rights of Americans, but they don't show that part on Live PD. Well, they do, but they don't realize they do. But they cut out the really bad parts, the abusive parts, the quote active police criminality that the Mullen report came up with when they investigated the NYPD in the 1990s and found that from top to bottom, there was no good, only corruption, only evil, only bad apples, and one of the largest police force on the planet, the NYPD. And what was the conclusion of the Mullen report? Well, the Knapp Commission, they got it right 20 years ago, but my God, this is active police criminality on steroids during the Mullen Commission. It got worse in 2 decades. What do you think has happened 2 or 3 decades after that in present day New York with the NYPD? You think it's gotten better? Well, the cameras from Eli and Good Guy Activism and Long Island Audit shows that no, it's gotten worse. And now they're doing evil things on camera in broad daylight, and they don't care. They don't care. So you can call us grifters and swindlers and con artists and fraudsters all you want to, but it's speaking words into the wind because they're absolutely meaningless when you lay it against the backdrop of what's really happening. Yeah, government is the biggest gang. Government is the biggest religion. Government, specifically the United States government. I am not talking about the country called America. I'm not talking about the American people. You can love your country and you can love the people in your country and really despise your government. Governments are responsible, and this is a conservative estimate. Governments are responsible for the deaths of over 250 million people. That's 250 million people in the last century alone, and that excludes all the wars. That is a death cult. And if you disagree, I really question your sanity if you disagree with that. And yet we're going to sit there year after year, every 4 years, and ask that another ruler, please rule us, just make sure that the chains you set upon us are light. Make sure the shackles you put on our wrists are loose. But we want you to rule us. Everything will be better under Biden. Everything will be better under Obama. Everything will be better under Trump. Everything will be better under Nixon or Ford or Reagan or Clinton. Fill in the blank. They ain't here for you. They're here for the members of the big club. They're here for the owners of the big club. They're here for the people who have a firm grasp on the levers of power. They're the powers that shouldn't be. It is a big club, and you and I ain't in it. Never have been, and if you're moral, you never will be. They are the true swindlers. They are the true con artists. They are the true fraudsters. And maybe, just maybe, it would be a good idea if we all got together and united against our common foe. It is not the majority who will prevail. It's the irate and tireless minority who are what? Keen on setting brush fires of freedom in the minds of men. That's how you prevail. You have a heart. You have a heart for freedom like William Wallace. You say with meaning, because it resides in your heart, what Patrick Henry said: give me liberty or give me death. Well, that's kind of extreme, isn't it, Patrick? It's a little bit extreme. What are you, some kind of conspiracy theorist? What do you have against the British Army? What do you got against the Redcoats? I am convinced that these anti-First Amendment people who put fraud in their name, fraudster, fraud, whatever, frauditor, whatever, I am convinced that they would be soundly on the side of the Redcoats and try to expose somebody like Paul Revere or Samuel Adams or Patrick Henry. They would be out there saying the Patrick Henrys, the Paul Reveres, the Ben Franklins of this world are the ones who are grit. Look at them, look at their grift. Look at Patrick Henry. Look at that guy over there writing that book called Common Sense. Look at his grift. Look at that guy riding the horse. Trying to warn us, one if by land, two if by sea. Get the British government on them. We're the lapdogs of government. My God, man. What the heck is happening to us? It's just so evil, man. It's so evil and so depressing. I'm kind of like I'm mired right now in, like depression and anger. It's discouraging just to know that our fellow Americans are out there applauding the chains of their own oppression. I guess they'll have to back the blue until it happens to them. But you know what's concerning about that? We've seen people who've been abused by the Thin Blue Line gang, and they still come out of it saying, I support I'm a wholehearted supporter of law enforcement, of the rule of law. I don't even know if those people can be helped. God, what was it Samuel Adams said? No people will tamely surrender their liberties, nor can any be easily subdued when knowledge is diffused and virtue is preserved. On the contrary, when people are universally ignorant and debauched in their manners, they will sink under their own weight without the aid of foreign invaders. Debauched in their own manners. That's what I think about these anti-First Amendment auditors. They're debauched in their own manners to the point where they're making so much money. I'm not going to call it a grift because I'm just going to assume the best. Maybe they really think that First Amendment auditors are just bad news. And maybe some of them are. Maybe they got a point. Maybe in the course of human relations, it's probably not a good idea to be mocking people who just want to be left alone while they're eating. Maybe that's a good idea. But to broad brush and say that you are somehow a fraud by recording in a public building or from a public sidewalk, I can't view that as anything but disingenuous. Guard with jealous attention the public liberty. Isn't that who said that? Patrick Henry? I think so. Suspect anyone who comes near that precious jewel. Nothing will preserve it. Preserve what? Liberty, the public liberty, but downright force. And when you give up that force, you are ruined. There comes a point at which your back gets pinned against the wall so bad, you get painted into a corner so completely and so thoroughly. You just want peace. You just want to be left alone. You don't want anybody to be hurt. You don't want any collateral damage in whatever conflagration that's coming your way. You just want to have that cabin in the woods. You want your well. You want to plant your own food, but they just keep knocking at the door. They just keep trespassing on your property. They just keep pointing the guns at you. They just keep tasing you. They just keep pulling you out of your vehicle and telling you need license, insurance, and registration, and you need to ID yourself. Show me your papers. Give me your papers, please, or you cannot proceed to the next checkpoint. And freedom is it means so little to so many people because the consequences of fighting for freedom is so great that they don't want to do it. They think they're alone. That's what the distract, deceive, divide, demoralize, dehumanize campaign is all about, guys. They want us to feel isolated, like we're the only ones out there fighting for truth and justice and against evil. You're not alone. That's what I love about the internet. I mean, there are people in here, right? That come from all walks of life, from different countries who want the same thing. They yearn to be free, like the Statue of Liberty said. Yearning to be free. Free from what? Free from oppression and slavery and tyranny. Every shade of oppression, tyranny, and slavery. Not just some of it. So when I see messages like this, I have mixed feelings because on the one hand, I realize that people are indoctrinated with 15,000 hour indoctrination program called the public fool system that they call the public school system. I see like this person right here is a proud Army veteran. I don't know how long he served, but he was indoctrinated. The goal of the military, once you get in, is to tear down who you are and rebuild you into the image that they want, into the tech or truck driver that they want, or military man or soldier, battle ready. They want you to be wired to throw yourself on a bomb for democracy. They want drone pilots to not question their orders, but just blow away those people on the street corner in that different country that is not yours, drone pilot operator. Push the button when we tell you to, launch the missiles that we tell you, aim where we say, and we won't court-martial you. And guess what they do? They do it because that's what they signed up for. They've become what you should never become. They've become order followers. They're just doing what they're told regardless of what is right, instead of doing what is right regardless of what they're told. Push the button, launch the missile, destroy everybody on that street corner in Baghdad. Come to find out later, two of them were Reuters journalists. Come to find out that every one of them was not an insurgent, but somebody who was just living their lives in a different country. Be like a drone operator, be like a Chinese or North Korean or Russian drone operator flying their drone over American soil and their commanding officer telling that drone pilot to push the button and launch the missile on that street corner in Arkansas or in Montana or in Florida. And then they just do it. And they don't give a damn who they blow away and tear apart. They were told that you were an insurgent. Imagine that. You are an insurgent on your own soil in your own home state, in your own hometown, because some North Korean military commander said you were. That's what we're doing to people in Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan. That's what we've been doing for decades. Vietnam, World War I, World War II, the Korean War, you just name it. Desert Storm, name it. Name it. Just blowing people away, burning grass huts, destroying families, holding prisoners of war, torturing people in the name of America. And it's going on right now. You know, we drop 46 bombs a day. 46 bombs a day. And we've been dropping an average of 46 bombs a day for the last 20 freaking years. It didn't matter that it was under Bush. It didn't matter that it was under Trump. It didn't matter that it was under Obama. The bombs are being dropped. The president knows it and he allows it to happen. He's the commander in chief of the armed forces. You think he's on your side? No. How much does each one of those bombs cost? Oh, you're suggesting follow the money, Brian. Yep. I'm not suggesting it. That's exactly what it should be. Follow the money. Key bono. Who benefits? It ain't you. I don't benefit from 46 bombs dropped every single day. Do you? Matter of fact, they're bleeding the American tax cattle so they can fund the 46 bombs dropped every day. And those are just the bombs that the Pentagon lets us know about. That comes from a Pentagon white paper. Go look at it. How many bombs do we drop a day per the Pentagon? Just look it up. They'll tell you. They'll give you their side of the story. It might, for all I know, it's 146, 246 bombs a day. You'll never know. I'll never know. How much ammunition? How many 50 cal rounds? How many 40 cals? How many guns? How many bombs? How many missiles? Tomahawk missile costs like $1.5 to $2 million. Under Trump, they launched 58 of them at some air base in Syria. 58 $2 million Tomahawk missiles. Who paid for that? You did. It's in the name of democracy. We got to secure freedom. Hillary Clinton talks about democracy. Bill Clinton talks about democracy. Trump talks about democracy. Biden talks about democracy. Every president, Obama, talks about democracy. We got to secure democracy. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Read my lips. No new taxes. Well, it looks like I got nabbed in the Iran-Contra scandal. Look at Ollie North and the Iran-Contra scandal. Look what they were doing in your name with the CIA. Freeway Ricky Ross. All the cocaine. Using the illicit drug trade so that they could buy arms for the Contras. Look at it. It was done in your name. It was done in my name. So if you lived in one of those countries, let's say we live in America and we're getting incessantly bombed by China, and they're constantly putting curfews on us where we can't be out on the streets at a certain time. You got Chinese troops, military grade equipment, just tearing up your roads, making sure you're staying inside, taking pot shots at you from mountain ranges, killing your family members. You're going to become an insurgent because you're like, you know what? Dad's dead. Mom is maimed. All my brothers and sisters are gone through all these raids that they've done. The grocery store has been ransacked. Women are being raped in my town by Chinese soldiers or North Korean soldiers. Pick whatever kind of soldier. You're going to become an insurgent because you're going to push back and you're going to say, give me liberty or give me death. I would rather die than live in this hellhole that they've created for us because they think I'm an insurgent. So yeah, I'm putting bombs in my street so that the next military grade vehicle that comes down, I can maybe get some of them before they take me out. You dang right you would. You dang right you would. And you know what? That's where we're headed if the fraudsters keep on having their way as they continue to mock us being locked up for no freaking reason. Man, I was going to give an update here about what's going on, but man, I am just in this zone where I'm just sick of this crap, man. I am so sick of this. And look, not many people watch this. Like there's not even hardly anybody in here. It's crazy, man. You got people spewing nonsense. They get 10,000 people in the freaking room. Nobody cares. It's like it's depressing. You get easily dejected when you see how few people actually care about freedom because they think that you're some kind of conspiracy theorist, nut job grifter. And then you get people like this saying this kind of stuff. Yeah, butt hurt. No, I appreciate it, Brandy. Yeah, I know some people do care, but it's not very many, man. 200 plus people, not bad. Come on. This is a 500 and something thousand subscriber channel. There should be tens of thousands. Everybody really needs to listen to this message, not because I'm saying it. I'm far from articulate, man. Today in the news, O.J. Simpson's dead. He's the guy who popularized the white Ford Bronco, the tight gloves, and, well, frankly, the face of what a lot of people say is just a freaking villain with a cold heart. So he succumbed to cancer today. Nicholas Mew was handed down a sentence today. Nicholas Mew is the guy who stabbed those kids in the Apple River stabbing incident. I'm going to play to you the verdict that was read today in court.
All right, we are back in session on the record in State of Wisconsin versus Nikolai Mew. The attorneys are present with Mr. Mew. 12 jurors are in the courtroom. Mr. Ashland, I understand you are the foreperson.
Correct.
Did your jury reach a verdict?
Yeah.
Did you reach?
There's no understanding. Blake Smith says, dude, help Chili stop the history lesson. Help Chili stop it. Chili is in jail. And tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people are in jail because they refuse to take a look at history. If you don't take an interest in what history really had in store for the American people and people all over the world, then you're doomed to repeat. We are repeating history right now. We're repeating. We've gotten relaxed. We've gotten apathetic. We've gotten indifferent. We've taken on this mentality of, dude, stop with the history lesson already. Stop being so butthurt. Unbelievable, man. I know, Maddie. I can't help it, man. I can't help it.
Reach a verdict on each of the 6 counts?
Yes, we did.
Okay, please hand the verdict forms to the bailiff.
One kid died, by the way. Isaac Schumann. I've been watching this trial. We're gonna watch how you can erode your credibility. I'm going to give you a lesson that Chili always teaches, that Chili himself admits that he transgressed. If the cops suspect you of something, whether you did it or not, shut the frick up. Chili and I've had conversations with them about this. The number one thing is invoke your Fifth Amendment right and then shut the frick up. Shut the front door. Thank you, Mike. You're going to watch Nikolai Mew not do that. Listen to this. We're going to watch the verdict first, and then I'm going to show you how believable of a liar Nikolai Mew actually is.
The Verdicts read as follows. As to count one of the information, Isaac Schumann, the jury finds Nikolai Mew guilty of first-degree reckless homicide as submitted. Question, did Mr.
So it's first degree reckless homicide for the death of Isaac Schumann.
Mew commit the crime while using a dangerous weapon? Answer, yes. As to count two of the information, Alexander Martin, the jury finds Nikolai Mew guilty of first-degree recklessly endangering safety as submitted. Did Mr. Mew commit the crime while using a dangerous weapon? Answer, yes. As to count three of the information, Dante Carlson, the jury finds Nikolai Mew guilty of first-degree recklessly endangering safety as submitted. Did Mr. Mew commit the crime while using a dangerous weapon? Answer, yes. As to count four of the information, Anthony Carlson, the jury finds Nikolai Mew guilty of first-degree recklessly endangering safety as submitted. Did Mr. Mew commit the crime while using a dangerous weapon? Answer, yes. As to count five of the information, Riley Madison, the jury finds Nikolai Mew guilty of first-degree recklessly endangering safety as submitted. Did Mr. Mew commit the crime while using a dangerous weapon? Answer, yes. As to count six of the information, Madison Cohen, the jury finds Nikolai Mew guilty of battery as charged. Did Mr. Mew commit the crime while using a dangerous weapon? Answer, yes. Members of the jury, I do have to verify that this is in fact a unanimous verdict. So I'm going to ask each of you if I correctly read the verdict and if you agree with it.
All right. So they're just going to affirm that, yeah, what he read was exactly what they came to the conclusion of. Now I want to show you, I think because the jury is human, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with this case, I'm not going to show the video on this channel because it will probably be taken down. Pretty gross. One of the kids, AJ, got disemboweled with this knife. They were severely abusing and verbally assaulting Mew. He was knocked down 3 times. He was hit while he was down. He was struck. He was pushed. He was surrounded by a whole bunch of kids who were being really, really mean to him. But when all was said and done, this is Nikolai Mew. This was his testimony of events, or part of his testimony when he was in the back of the cop car. Listen to this. I would have believed him. He's such a believable freaking liar. And if he just shut his freaking mouth and not lied to anybody. See, after the stabbings and after everything went down, and you can see the video. I've got the video up, the entire, it's like 3 minutes and 27 seconds. I've got the entire video up on my Twitter page. If you want to see it, it's there in its entirety. And you can go frame by frame. There's like 3,152 frames or something like that. But you can go frame by frame to see what actually happened when he pulled out the knife, who got stabbed. Not the video doesn't show everybody getting stabbed, but it shows the result of people getting stabbed. And it's pretty surreal, actually. The kids go from taunting to screaming bloody murder, literally. And when Nikolai Mew was done, he walked back to his group. He cleaned off the knife. He threw the knife. He lied to somebody saying that they stole his knife and that knives were pulled on him and people were trying to pull his shorts down. And he dressed in he put his hat on, his camo jacket on, zip-up jacket, and some sunglasses, and looked like he was trying to blend in with the crowd so that he could leave, not realizing that somebody had videoed almost the entire incident. And so here he is when he was apprehended by police. Here's what he says to police.
Still doing all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's going
Temperature's
on?
okay in here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hear somebody got stabbed. And I fit the description.
Yes, you do.
All right.
Yep. So we're working through.
He said, Nikolai Mew says to the cop, and I don't like the courtroom cameraman's slow responses thing. It's like the guy's not even paying attention. So he's always slow and panning over to where the monitor is. But Nikolai Mew is basically going, I heard somebody got stabbed. What's going on? I don't know what's going on.
Through that now. Did you see that fight on the river?
I heard about it.
You heard about it?
Yeah.
Did you see the fight? He was involved in the fight, the entire thing. Oh, I heard about it. This guy is such a freaking believable liar.
I've seen people gather around it.
Okay. All right.
And I went over to talk to see if somebody saw anything, but that's about it.
Okay.
Our whole group was pretty interested in finding out what happened.
Okay. And that's your whole group over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know. Okay, well,
Did you see anybody injured?
no.
You didn't see anybody injured?
No.
Did you see anybody fighting?
I heard people screaming at each other, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Screaming in anger or screaming in pain? Do you know?
Everybody's drunk, so I don't know. I can't tell the difference, but I would say, I don't know, just screaming.
Okay.
You know, yeah, calling each other names, but, you know, that's, I've seen that all day. And we've all been drinking a lot. I'm sure they're drunk. I'm sure they're doing, I don't know, kids being kids.
Kids being kids. Where are you? Where's your group from? Where did you drive from today?
Oh, I drove from
Yeah, guys, this case has everything to do with what Chili teaches on this channel. Shut the frick up. When the cops ask you questions, shut the frick up. When you forget to shut the frick up, continue to shut the frick up. I'm invoking my Fifth Amendment right to be silent under the Constitution. I'm an American. I'm going to take that right and give me my lawyer. I'm not saying anything. If he had done that, things would have gone way better for him. But instead, he chose to lie. Now, when you lie and you diminish or trash your credibility altogether, what do you expect a jury to do? You know, in the whole incident down at the river, why not just walk away? Who cares what people are saying? People are calling him a pedophile. People are saying he's looking for little girls. They're making all kinds of crazy, crude accusations. He's supposedly there to find his friend's phone or whatever when his friend said, hey, don't worry about the phone. Insurance will cover it. Why not just walk away? It's disgusting what the kids did. It's horrible what he ended up thinking that he had to do. And then he lied about it. Shut the frick up. If you're going to do stuff like that, which I don't advise anybody do it, if you can diffuse, if you can de-escalate, if you have the ability to walk away, just do it. Sometimes you'll have to walk away backwards because you don't want to turn your back on somebody who might be hostile to you. That'd be a bad idea to walk away in that way. If somebody attacks you, defend yourself. If you can get out of there, do it. I mean, like, who cares what they say about you? Who cares if people go, man, you were such a puss walking away? Who cares? This guy's going to be in jail for the rest of his life. A kid is dead. Now, a lot of people are saying, I mean, I don't even want to say this on the channel, but other people are saying, well, those kids got what they deserved. Yeah, words aren't going to kill you. Exactly. Sticks and stones, you know, all that. But this has everything to do with what Chili teaches on his channel. And it's easy to remember, guys. Don't worry about hurting a cop's feelings. You can just say, hey, I'm not trying to be rude, officer, but I am invoking my Fifth Amendment, my powerful, effective Fifth Amendment right to be silent, and then be silent. And then wait for your attorney to show up. Explain to him what happened. Don't try to cover your tracks and say something, because everything you say, they're building a case against you. You're guilty and you got to prove yourself innocent. And if something does happen like that and you felt like you defended yourself, why would you be on the run? Why would you be running away? I'm not on either person's side. The whole event is tragic. The kid's actions were disgusting. He did stuff that was horrible. I mean, when this AJ kid gets disemboweled and he's in jail, and then he's in intensive care and in the hospital for like the better part of a month, probably have digestive and other problems for the rest of his life. 4 or 5 kids got stabbed with this guy's knife. It's just horrible. Just shut the frick up.
Prior Lake.
From Prior Lake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, we didn't drive it. We came here alone.
Your wife and you?
Yeah.
And you met the group here?
Yeah, but we know each other.
Look at his eyes. He looks so honest. He looks so believable. That's another lesson here. Number one, When the cops are talking to you, shut the frick up. When the investigator comes on board and they got their legal pad out and they're trying to take some notes and they're recording you, shut the frick up. Shut up. Next person you should be talking to is your lawyer. But now I'm learning, maybe it's not a good idea. If you're getting a lawyer, then you're under the bar association and you're under jurisdiction. And it's just see what I mean? It's this huge onion of deception. You're constantly unpeeling these onions and you're constantly learning and trying to find out what the frick's going on here. It's not an easy life to live. Well, I don't know. It's not simple. Let's put it that way. Let me show you him lying back at the station with this detective right here.
So why?
Remember, the goal of me showing you this with Nicholas Mew and what happened in Apple River is shut the frick up. Shut the frick up and then keep shutting the frick up. And don't just tell people, you do it yourself. Chili is kicking himself right now in prison because he didn't shut the frick up. He'll tell you that when he gets out. He'll tell you that. I didn't shut up. Dang it, I didn't shut up.
What happened? Can you tell me what happened?
Yes. 4 people went to the hospital with injuries,
Oh my God.
and 1 person died.
Like he doesn't know.
Oh no.
I don't know any of their names, and I don't know any genders, so I don't know.
Was that because they fought each other, or is
I
that
don't know. I don't know. I don't know what their injuries are. I was with Sandy the whole time, and then when I kind of turned Sandy over to Ernesto and Amy, then I came here. So I have no idea what their injuries were.
No. Oh my God.
So believable. So believable. I hate deception. I can't stand liars.
Oh my God.
So we just need to be able to piece this together. In your statement,
What other pictures did they give you of me?
it's just that one. That's the only one I have.
They didn't take. They
Well-
have lots of cameras. You should take their cameras.
Yes, and so I have colleagues,
Yeah.
investigators that are talking to all of those, the people in the group and the other witnesses. So yes, we are trying to collect. And I told Ernesto and Amy, because they said that Rosie was taking a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think she took any pictures of those guys. There was at the stop up here.
Yes, but
Yeah.
you were snorkeling. They might have been taking a
Oh,
selfie or
I
something,
see.
and
Yeah,
we
yeah,
could have
yeah,
gotten,
yeah,
we could get these guys in the background that they don't even realize they have it. You know what I mean?
I see what you mean.
So I asked them to go through their photos so
Right,
that we
right,
would
right,
be
right.
in contact with them.
Got it. I was all of a sudden you say that, like, why would they take pictures of me going over there?
No, you just never know what you get in a picture.
Yeah.
If they're sitting here waiting for you and cutting out to find the phone.
Did you find his phone?
I don't know. Again, I've been with Sandy pretty much the whole time, and now I came here with you. So I do know I did get a message that the goggles and the snorkel were found. So that's all the information that I have about items that were located.
No, my whole life is down the tubes.
Well, I don't know if that's the case, because people have the right to defend themselves.
I know, but this is Wisconsin.
This is Wisconsin.
My whole life is down the tubes, he says. The guy is such a good liar.
Okay. You continue on. I usually know that people that defend themselves, they end up being accused of being this and being that.
Well, I think if you'd asked me what I would have done,
Yeah,
I mean,
let's not say
I don't
that.
know.
Yeah, you don't know.
I don't know. I would have been scared shitless, I can tell you that.
When that many people
Yeah.
try to pull your pants down and hit you, and yeah.
There was no proof and there's no video evidence of anybody having or trying to pull his pants down. He says that 2 kids pulled knives on him. There's no proof of that. The only person who pulled a knife was him. He's lying about almost everything.
And two boys had knives on them. They didn't find any of those 2 knives?
I don't know. I don't know, but we're looking, and, you know, we're looking before it gets dark out.
I think I missed it, but a couple times during this particular interview, and there's a lot of interview footage of him, and I'm only going to play the next couple seconds, but he knows he's being recorded. What a dishonest dumb cluck.
I'm glad I actually took that kid's knife. He would have stabbed me.
Yeah, look at what Blake Smith said. I'll support any auditor who's falsely arrested, like him or not. Yeah, because what is it about? It's not about being in the cult of personality. It's not about being a Chile supporter. Know what? I'm going to support him no matter what. It's about, okay, I can weigh the issues. I can see what happened. I can see what the accusations and the charges are. And in my estimation, there's no evidence of anybody having been hurt. Therefore, there is no reason to put a guy in a cage. Let's say even if he did transgress some kind of rule or ordinance or regulation, some kind of city rule, that is no reason. Then give him a ticket, which is unjust in and of itself, but at least he's not in jail, having his life decimated, separated from loved ones. That is just lunacy to me, that anybody would be in jail for what Chile did.
He was not there to scare me. He was there to harm me.
They were there to harm me.
This time I'm here, but I'm sorry for how it ended up.
This guy just does not know how to shut up. So the long and the short of it is, everybody's got the right to shut the frick up, but almost nobody, it seems, has the ability to shut the frick up. I want to show you this video right here, and then I'm going to give you a backdrop of this. These are undercover police agents who are trying to nab people who, pretend to be Uber drivers or pretend to give somebody a lift under the Uber app. And I'm going to show you how the sting operation works. I'm going to play the entire thing first, and then I'm going to show you exactly the elaborate plan the cops have laid in undercover fashion to enact this sting organization to create criminals, while real criminals, rapists, murderers, and thieves get to walk free on these streets.
And these 2 people are the 2 individuals that entrapped me right here, and they're trying to do it right now. They're trying to get every other Uber driver. They're trying to get every other Uber driver and Lyft driver right now. It'd be dope if I can catch one. Look at them, waving people down. The woman said that she didn't have a phone, or no, she said that her phone was out of battery, and the guy said he had a flip phone, said he had cash. They're trying to catch all kinds of people. Watch this.
Now, see how this guy has a tag that says Lyft, but apparently people put these tags in their windshields and pretend like they're Lyft drivers. Now, this could be a dangerous thing. And so the way you get a Lyft or an Uber is through their app. So these law enforcement agents, these undercover law enforcement agents, say that their phone is dead and they can't operate the app. Could you give us a lift anyway? And what is that? That's an adult going to another adult and trying to arrange some kind of business transaction to where they can get a lift. So this is under the making money under the table. This is the government saying, no, we need a slice of the taxation pie. And if you do this, we're going to view you as a criminal. We're going to take you to jail and impound your car. I'll go over more of that in a second, but I just wanted to show you, wanted to highlight the fact that he has a Lyft sticker in his windshield and he's willing to take these people somewhere for a sum of money.
Hey, brother, those people are undercover cops. I just got a citation for this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they trapped me. Yep.
I love
Good
it.
job, guys. I'll see y'all in court. Oh, I thought your phone was dead. Oh, your phone ain't dead no more, huh? Your phone ain't dead no more? Yeah, I didn't take nothing from you. I took nothing from you. I took nothing from neither one of you people, and you know I didn't. You know I didn't take nothing from you. Oh, I'm not harassing nothing. No, I'm not harassing anything. Y'all entrapped me. Good job, guys. Good job. Good job. Oh, now look at this. Look at this.
Look at that.
What you mean, how am I doing? I just got trapped, and I just wanted to stop somebody else from getting trapped. That's all.
So how can I help you today? You know, by doing this, you're interfering with an investigation.
I'm not interfering with no investigation.
You're interfering with our criminality, and we cannot tolerate that. And they always say interfering with an investigation. Well, what if what if the mafia said, hey, get away from that apartment complex? Guido and Nick are in there with a baseball bat and they're investigating, and you're interfering with our no, you're interfering with criminality. You're interfering with deception. You're interfering with the sting operation where they're trying to make an innocent person guilty of some crime that they fabricated. That's what they're really saying when they're saying you're interfering or obstructing. It's like that thing that Chili did the other day. He was interrupting their traffic Ponzi scheme. He was interrupting a road piracy operation. That's what he was interrupting. And they don't like that stuff.
Yeah. So
No,
whenever
I'm
a
not.
car pulls up,
I'm not
So you could
interfering
be
with
arrested
anything. I was
for that.
making a video, and they just happened to have some people pull up.
okay, so you know you can be arrested for.
If you're
Yeah,
uninsured,
you could be interested. Interested. You could be arrested. Let me get rid of this. Oh, that was it. So that's the deal with this. And let me just show you, because somebody's got a really good, they've got a really good summary of what's going on here. Let me show you. Oops. This guy says, for people who don't know, let me expand this so you can see it. For people who don't know how this thing works and what's going on here, the undercover police officers are portraying someone whose phone is, quote, dead, but looking for a ride from someone that works for Uber, Lyft, rideshare, etc. Normally, you have to use the app because it tracks down the rides you give and how much money you make for tax purposes. But since the undercover police officers are acting like their phone is dead, they're looking to pay the driver without using the app. So this is like under the table. So the driver would make money under the table and not have to pay taxes on it. They are worried about the effing 6% of taxes someone might skip out on $20, when in reality, this, you know what, might really happen to someone's phone that really died and is looking for the phone that really died and is looking for a ride home with kids with them. It's really effed up that the cops are doing this for so many reasons. Is it a legitimate citation? Sure. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. If you're an adult and you have a car and you're willing to take money from somebody who's willing to give you money for a ride, what crime have you committed? Yeah, you may have cut in on the Lyft, Uber, and rideshare. You may have, somehow circumvented around the tax scheme, which taxation is theft, more specifically done by the government. It's extortion, but you haven't actually done anything wrong under common or natural law. You're just engaged with a mutually beneficial business transaction in a voluntary way when two consensual adults came together and go, hey, I need a ride. I will give you money. Hey, I need money. I will give you a ride. And now the government's trying to get involved in that through this sting operation and try to arrest you for not even threatening to harm, or damaging anybody's property. So I don't even agree that there should be a citation issued. Now, if you see something differently that I'm missing, then leave a comment. They're the ones making the situation in the first place, causing a trap, and it's effing BS, especially when you think about the fact that there's real crimes going on in the city, and this is how they're going to use their resources to entrap somebody who's actually not committing a crime. So they're so desperate and they have so much time on their hands, they're going to manufacture a crime. That is disgusting to me. That's the epitome of working, using somebody's money, the American tax cattle, and doing something unjust and irresponsible with it by creating more criminals and creating another stream of unjust revenue where now this person goes to jail. Now they got to bail out and they got to go through the injustice system. And now the tow company gives the police department a cut because now the car gets impounded. It's just so, our world is so messed up. And I wanted to show you this right here. This is pretty interesting. I'm just going to go ahead and play this. This has a couple of auditors that we know well. This first one starts with NC Tyrant Hunter.
This is NC Tyrant Hunter out here at Kendall and Morgan Southeast Terminal in Charlotte, North Carolina on 6801 Freedom Drive. That's the appropriate name, right? Let's see if I'm doing a First and Second Amendment audit. Nope. Huh? Huh? I can't hear you, man. Seriously, I can't hear you. That's loud. Yeah? Make me move. Huh? What's happening?
Got a call about private property, firearm.
Yeah, yeah. We're recording, man. Can I get your name and badge on?
Officer Pearson, P2437.
Right on. What
Can
you,
I get
sir?
your name, sir? 991. Officer.
My name's Good Citizen.
Good citizen?
Yep.
Good citizen, why are you recording this business?
Why not?
You're on private property. When I ask you to leave.
Can you show me how I'm on private property?
I'll be right back.
Yep.
I love this line of questioning because time after time we see law enforcement agents whose job it is to know the law don't even know the difference between private and public property. And I agree, like with Edward Snowden, when exposing a crime is treated as committing a crime, you are being ruled by criminals.
What's that?
Some guy in that office in that office over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody complained or what?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, they just complained.
Yeah, he come out to me and told me to move my truck, that I was on private property. I'm not on private property. Yeah. You should know that already though.
Oh, that this is private property?
Yeah.
You think it's public property?
What else is it?
Well, it's a business right here, right?
Right, yeah. Do their property go all the way to the road?
Oh, I could.
No businesses
They
go.
own the power line?
Yeah, they don't. No company owns. Nobody owns all the way to the road.
Power line on your yard.
Hey, no business goes all the way to the street. You heard of a city easement, right? Is that right?
Yeah, it's 10 feet in.
Yeah, well, it can be different. It's not just 10 feet. It's different everywhere.
That's what I'm saying. So, yeah.
It may not be 10 feet here.
On average, it's 30 feet from the center line of the road.
Right.
Well, get the businessman.
According to the GIS survey.
Well, evidently he don't know where his property line's at either.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. As long as you don't try to violate my rights today, we're good. Yeah, that's a tight squeeze right there. Tight squeeze. He kind of clammed up now. He wanted to talk earlier. Now he don't want to say nothing. He's over there hiding in the bushes. That's the guy that called him right there. Now they calling the DA or somebody to try to figure out the property line. So you already should know. They're trying to call us, see if they can get us. They're gonna see if they can get us for parking on the side of the road. That's what they're trying to do right now. Trying to see if they can get us on some infraction.
Yeah, I love NC Tyrant Hunter. One of the first videos that I ever saw of him and his buddy were in a car and they were just making fun of the cops because the cop was trying to get him on all this crazy stuff that wasn't, there was nothing illegal that NC Tyrant Hunter was doing. There's nothing unlawful he was doing. And they were just coming unglued because NC Tyrant Hunter and his buddy were just mocking him and laughing. It was the most funny thing. I think that's one of the few videos that I watched, overall of all the videos that I watched, that my sides were actually hurting. It was so funny.
Some city code, or that's what they do, man. But they nothing legally they can do. Now they can do some illegal shit and try to force us to leave. That's gonna be hard to do. There's another one. See the cop. There's another one trying to get in. The cop's pulled right there in the driveway. We got all that whole freaking thing apart.
Silly.
Hello.
The IRS deadline is here.
Oops, sorry guys. Let me let this run through. All right, before we get to this next one, I want to remind you guys, if you want to get the Team DLZ sweatshirts, the hoodies, I think they're on sale now for $50. And just grab a trifold, grab a brochure, watch Chili's videos. Let's keep this channel alive. Let's keep this operation alive. What is this? This is Operation Freedom, Operation Delete Laws. All right, let's get into this next one from LAC Audit.
Their car being parked in front of this house. Hey, we got a call for their car being parked in front of this house. Are you here for any kind of reason?
Well, she approached me, and as far as I told her when she approached me on a public street, she doesn't have any right to tell me to move, right?
Yeah.
I told her if she's going to call you guys, make sure that she tells you guys that I'm parked in a public street, so you guys don't have to waste your time coming out here. She seems to think that it's illegal to park in front of her house. I told her I can be here for as long as I want to be here, so she's not going to move me.
So it is a public street.
Yes.
You can park here, absolutely.
Correct.
However, you cannot idle here. So if you
No.
want to be parked here,
I'm
you're gonna
recording.
need to go up.
Yes, Second Amendment. I have a dash cam. I saw you,
Okay.
and I turned it on so I can record the incident. So this trumps the idling. First Amendment right, not Second Amendment. First Amendment right to record. I'm recording a public official in the case of any course of your job.
Of course.
So I need battery life. So as soon as you put off, I'm gonna turn this off.
Okay. Sounds good.
It's recorded. Yeah.
Do you have any kind of reason as to why you're...
Parking a public street, minding my business, man. I didn't even want to talk to her. Yeah, I'm not talking to anyone else who parks there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just don't leave the vehicle idling. You are parked legally, so I have no problem with that. Okay.
Perfect. Okay.
All
Can I get a
right,
name
thank
and
you.
badge numbers?
Officer Watts, 233.
What?
Yes.
You have a card?
I do not.
Okay. All right. You know what, man? Tell me.
So a few things.
Can you
But
just
anyway,
repeat your name and badge number? Sorry.
Excuse me?
Can you just repeat your name and badge number?
No, is that on?
What? This? Yeah. I always record cops. I mean, it's my First Amendment right?
But you should let the person know they're being recorded.
No. First
Yeah,
Amendment.
let's go. YALETSKO.
Okay.
4447.
Okay.
Philadelphia Police Department Major Crimes Unit.
Sure. How can I help you?
You were here yesterday.
Yeah.
Chief was here yesterday.
Yeah.
Everything okay?
Everything's
This is a
okay.
street that we
Public street, right?
take care of.
I get it. But a public street, regardless, right?
Right.
Anyone can park here from any part of the country, right?
Sir, I understand.
No, so that's why to make sure we understand
got
that.
burglaries around here
Well,
and
am I
nonsense
suspected
catalytic
of committing?
converters.
I have not watched this. So let me go to this next one. This right here is from Frank Evans, 831.
So I was just given a directive to keep walking.
All right, thank you. Hey man, I just told you, you got to get a little farther back. You can keep recording, but dude, we're dealing with this.
I'm not even saying nothing to you guys, man. I'm just standing here, bro. Put some tape up then. Then don't. Then just let me do my thing, bro. You guys do your thing. I'm not bothering you guys, man.
That's the thing. I just told you.
I'm standing.
You understand?
I'm standing.
Yeah, you're 5 feet away from this car that
Dude.
we're investigating. So back up.
5 feet.
Okay? I know what you're all about. Just keep
Can you
going.
do something, please? I'm standing here, bro.
Dude.
Can I get your name, sir?
Dude, it's Commander Villegas.
Okay,
What else
thank
do
you,
want?
sir.
Back up.
How much more do you want me to back up? Because I'm just standing
You need
here,
to back
dude.
up at least
Where?
to that pole.
Is
right
that
there.
fine?
Yep, that is fine.
Okay.
There you go.
How about that?
Keep going.
How
No.
about?
I said that.
Okay,
that
I'm
post
done.
right
I'm
there.
done. This is as far as I'm going, bro. I'm not doing anything,
That's
dude.
the personal issue. You lucky we're dealing with other things.
He could have done, and cops will probably become more emboldened to cry the officer safety and pull the officer safety card because of what Chile, what's going on with Chile. He actually gave a specific directive. I need you to back up to that pole. And they could take this to court and go, hey, he didn't obey a lawful order. At what point do you go, that wasn't a lawful order? I mean, how many feet is it supposed to be? And when they try to pin down a particular distance, like 25 feet in Indiana, like Craig Henry's going through right now, how is that going to hold constitutional weight? How can you say this is the land of the free when, it's not the land of the free inside this 25-foot radius right here? Now you come inside this 25-foot radius and then you get crazy cops like encountered Henry and they get out the measuring stick or the measuring tape and they find out, it's 21. Well, you're going to hear, the DA is going to hear about this one. And then they slap charges on. That is not land of the free. That's North Korea. It's communist China. It's not the land of the free. So even when they give these directives right here and they give a specific, like Officer Bork, who was confronted by Chile, said in the courtroom that he wanted Chile to go back where the red semi was by the light pole. Well, that's 55 feet. If that ain't prior restraint, I don't know what is. Basically he's saying, hey, there is no freedom of press around me, buddy. And no judge is going to have a problem with that. That's why I say the court and the cards are stacked against us.
We'll deal with you later, okay?
For recording. That's a threat or what?
We'll deal with.
But I'll deal with you later because we know what you're all about. We've contacted you before.
You've contacted me before, okay?
If you know what he's all about and what he's about is recording, then why would you as an officer have a problem with him lending another lens of clarity and transparency to this entire situation? You wouldn't if you're a good cop. Now, if you got something to hide or you're going to do something devious with this driver and the passengers right here, maybe we should start speculating or at least, maybe asking some questions about what the heck is really going on here. There's a kid in the back seat of the car.
You got a juvenile right here. You understand that, right? and you're going to record that, right?
No, I'm recording your actions right now.
But you're recording this entire thing.
Okay? Okay?
A juvenile present, we don't want you to record. A juvenile present does not trump unalienable rights. Never has, and it never will. It shouldn't in the eyes of anybody. They're going to come up with any excuse. You're standing too close. You've put us in a dangerous situation. There's a juvenile here. The driver doesn't want to be recorded. We got to make sure that we protect her privacy while we exact tyranny on her through our road piracy.
I'll let her know because I know who you are.
Okay.
Give her your name so she
Then tell her who I am then. Tell her. Go ahead and tell her. You can find this on YouTube, Frank Evans. How's that? There, I told her. How's that? Okay. Fuck. Look
Go,
at this
Frank.
guy mugging and shit.
Go, Frank. Go, Frank.
I'm standing where he wants me to stand. He still wants to mug. Him and Commander Johnson. Mr. Park in red zones.
And it's kind of like that cop was virtue signaling. It's like, there's a juvenile. Don't you care? Have you no regard for the young? As him and his henchmen, this cop and his henchmen are jeopardizing the lives because you have to know by this point in America, if you get pulled over by the American police, your life hangs in the balance. You got to know that by now. And they're going to wax all virtuous about, hey, we're trying to protect this kid's rights as we economically terrorize his mom.
Shouldn't tell me that I'm recording minors. So they had the whole street blocked off.
For no reason. Blocking it off for no reason.
You know, she's mom, so I'll explain everything to mom when we get a chance. Yeah, so there's a different we'll reach out to mom and explain everything. But in the meantime, if she has any questions, or she can just stop by and one of us will assist her there. All right? Thank you very much, ma'am. Very well. Well, you take care. Thank you for your time. Have a good one. Thanks. Take care.
You too. Eat shit too. Another undercover car right there, unmarked.
No love for these guys. No love at all. If you want me to go over this last video that was uploaded by Honor Your Oath Civil Rights Investigation, I can go over some of that. Put a 1 in the room. Let me know. I don't want to overstay my welcome here. We've already been doing this for an hour and a half. Thank you for being here. What's up, Luke, John, Christopher, Chicago Benji, Jim, Drop Dead, 74, GV Games. The way I see it. Oh, he's talking to somebody else. Chili's hanging in there. There should be another update that's going to be uploaded soon. Let me just make sure. Let me see here. There should be another update coming soon, guys. I'm not sure when, but it's going to be today. Thanks, Luke. I appreciate it. Okay, so you guys want me to play this? All right, this is from Jeff Gray, Honor Your Oath, Civil Rights Investigations.
Here in downtown Fernandina, Florida, beautiful downtown Fernandina, Florida. Standing at Atlantic Avenue and Center Street or Main Street. And I'm just gonna stand right here in this busy intersection on this beautiful day and spread this message of God bless our homeless veterans. And
I mean, just think about this for a second. We live in America. We don't live in some communist third world country. This is America, supposed to be land of the free, home of the brave. If you can't walk outside on a public sidewalk with the wholesome message of God bless the homeless vets without getting threatened by the thin blue line gang of tyranny, then we are not in a free country. That is the bottom line. Stop singing land or the land of the free, home of the brave at sporting events, because it ain't true. You can't even get, I challenge you, if you're watching this video, I challenge you to come up with a more wholesome message than God bless the homeless vets. And let's use it on a public sidewalk and see if that more wholesome message than God bless the homeless vets attracts the ire and threats of the thin blue line gang that's supposed to be there serving and protecting the rest of us.
please pray for our homeless veterans and help not hate. And
Oh yeah. That's what the back of his sign says is help not hate. There you got help not hate on one side and God bless the homeless vets on the other side. And that's still not enough of a repellent to keep the thin blue line gang members off your back. It's crazy.
See how it goes.
Good afternoon, y'all. God bless homeless vets. Good afternoon, y'all. How you doing? God bless homeless vets. Good afternoon, y'all. God bless our homeless veterans. Good afternoon, y'all. God bless our homeless veterans. Please pray for our homeless vets. Good afternoon, y'all. How you doing? God bless homeless veterans, y'all. Please pray for our homeless vets. God bless the homeless vets, y'all.
I have a salad. Would you like to eat?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you. I'm not homeless myself, but that's very kind of you. I like to come out in public and spread this message.
Oh,
But God bless you. That's very kind. Thank you. You're an angel. Oh, wow, man. Thank you so much. I am not homeless myself. I just like to come out in public and spread this message of God bless homeless veterans. But that's very kind of you. I don't take any money because I don't want to be accused of soliciting or anything like that. But you guys are angels. God bless you. Thank you so much. You guys are blessings.
That is so great. That is
How
so
you doing?
great.
Hey, man.
I love that. I love that.
Any chance I could get you to go somewhere else?
I'd rather not.
I'd really rather you do.
Why?
Just the owners of the place.
Oh, you're the owner?
Don't like, not me, but
Oh, okay.
they don't want over here and
Well, it's not their property.
right here.
It's not their property.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Brick. Fine young men. I mean, look at the look on this kid's face. It's like a pure look, you know. Watch this.
Oh, wow, man. Thank you so much. I am not homeless myself. I just like to come
Look at his face. I want to hug this kid.
out in public and spread this message of God bless homeless veterans. But that's very kind of you. I don't take any money
He said, "Here, you can still have it." What a great kid.
because I don't want to be accused of soliciting or anything like that.
I mean, and then, you know, kids like this, if this is how they present themselves is how they really are. I mean, hats off. It looks like the mom is up here in the left-hand corner. Can you see her? I mean, that's the product of what appears to be good parenting. Good stuff.
But you guys are angels. God bless you. Thank you so much. You guys are blessings.
Hope restored in America, man. Yeah, Bruce says, what a great kid. I mean, it makes you almost tear up, you know, in a world filled with darkness and just mean-spirited people. And then you come across that, it's like a breath of fresh air.
How you doing?
Hey, man. Any chance I could get you to go somewhere else?
I'd rather not.
I'd really rather you do.
Why?
Just the owners of the place.
Oh, you're the owner?
Don't like, not me, but
Oh, okay.
they don't want over here and
Well, it's not their property.
right here.
It's not their property.
All right,
All
see what
right.
they want to do.
All right. I have just as much right to be here as anybody else. God bless you. Is everything good? Is everything cool?
So far, yeah. We'll see what happens.
Oh, yeah. They didn't call the cops or anything. Huh?
He hasn't answered me back, so
Oh, okay. They didn't call the cops or anything, right?
they may have. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Hi. I'm all right. How are you, sir? What's going on?
I just got a call about you standing here.
Oh, okay.
For a while. How long you been here? Quite a while.
About 20 minutes or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mind? We don't know how to panhandle or anything like that. So if you're asking for money or trying to take money, we got an issue.
I am soliciting.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I can and I am.
No, you're not.
I can and I will. There's nothing you can do about it.
Okay.
I love that stand. It's non-combative, but it's firm. And he's not yelling. He's not throwing up a fuss. He's not making a scene. He's just saying, hey, I'm going to stand for my rights. And when you do this, you have to understand, this is why I appreciate people like Jeff Gray and James Freeman and Chili and everybody out there who stands for rights, is they're not just standing for their rights. This isn't just some stand you're just taking in a vacuum. You're actually standing for the rights of everybody who either can't or won't stand for their own rights. And when you feel the blade and the sting of injustice by tyrants, that's not just happening to Jeff Gray. It's not just happening to one man. It's not just one man going to jail. It's not just Chili sitting in jail. It's the injustice system saying, hey, see what we did to Chili? See what we did to Jeff Gray? See how we abused James Freeman? We're going to do that same thing to you if you think you're going to stand for your rights. And that's stuff that we absolutely cannot continue to tolerate. And that's why I appreciate this, guys, because when you see these videos, it's got a far-reaching ramifications, man. That's why I cannot understand all these anti-auditor channels out there mocking this kind of thing. This is us pushing back against tyrants. If you don't stand for your rights, if you don't exercise your rights, you will lose them. That's what history shows us. And if you don't learn from history, you are doomed to repeat it.
Okay. All right, we'll see when the other officer gets here. If I have to,
Okay.
make sure you get him down the road. Okay.
All right. That's a risk you're willing to take, I guess.
We're going to make sure you get on down the road. In other words, when the other officer comes, we're going to coordinate and we're going to conspire against 18 USC 241, conspiracy against rights. And then we're going to move over into depriving you of your rights under the color of law, or under the color of what we say is law, in violation of 18 USC 242. And we will use force to extract you from this area. Why? Because you committed a crime? Because you made people feel uncomfortable? No, it's because you were holding a sign. You thought you were free to exercise your rights? Think again, buddy.
Yeah, I guess so.
Really?
Why do people like you try to make it difficult?
Because I believe in my rights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, there's so much here. There's so much to unpack, guys. Every 5 seconds, it's like they say one more thing that puts the noose around their neck, and then the next one tightens it up, and then the next one drops the floor, and now they're dangling and hanging like Hangman. Why do you make it difficult? Well, if standing for your rights makes your job difficult, then maybe you're in the wrong line of work, officer. If standing for your rights makes you feel like I'm being difficult, you're definitely in the wrong line of work.
I know it sucks, doesn't it?
Well, it's an opportunity to make things extra. That's all.
I'm sorry?
No big deal.
All right. You can't legally make me move along. You have no legal authority to do so. I mean, you can do whatever you want to. You got a gun, and you can call back up.
I don't need that. I don't need any of that.
And I'm not gonna, and I wouldn't resist or anything like that. Just so you know, I'm not gonna. I wouldn't resist.
Yeah.
But I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
Unless you remove me from here.
Right. Okay.
So.
All right.
I have just as much right to be here as anybody else. Soliciting all I can solicit all day long.
I don't think it's against the ordinance to solicit.
If it might be, but if it is, your city ordinance would be unconstitutional.
Are you local or where you live at?
It's like they're children. But the city ordinance says, but the teacher said we couldn't do it, so we can't do it. Oh, look, the sign over there says no cell phones. Yeah, but the sign is not law. I like what Tyrant Terminator Hunter says. It's not law. It doesn't carry the force of law. And if I disobey it, I'm not breaking the law. And if it was a law and it's repugnant to the Constitution and, more importantly, unalienable rights, then it is null and void. Period. What part of that do people not understand? And why don't they understand it? Like somebody said, it's hard to lead somebody to the knowledge of the truth when they get paid to not understand the truth.
I'm from the 70s. How about you?
70s?
Yeah.
Where are you from? I'm from the 70s. Classic, Jeff. Classic.
Officer Bowen?
Yeah.
Actually, Lieutenant, right?
Yeah, I don't really care much about
All right.
titles, but I appreciate it.
Lieutenant Bowen. Gotcha. My name's Jeff.
Nice to meet you, Jeff.
Nice to meet you. I don't mean
ID on you whatsoever?
I don't know. Let me see. That's in my pocket here.
You got some ID on you.
I probably got some ID. I don't have the I. I don't know where the I's at. Oh, just the D.
I got you.
Just the D.
All right.
Put a 1 in the room if you're against what Jeff Gray is doing here. Put a 1 in the room if you're against what Jeff Gray is doing.
All right, I'm going to talk to another guy over there, and we'll make a decision what we want to do with it.
Okay.
Okay?
Understood.
You have a good one, all right?
All right, you too.
All right, bud.
Yeah, buzz day.
Yeah, you too. All right, bud.
Yes, sir.
Go on, but just make sure you don't block the walkway, okay?
Understood. Yeah, I'm not blocking
I
anything.
think you were going up and down and kind of block this walkway earlier.
No.
And then they got to come back and give you a directive. They got to get something on you. They have to walk away thinking that you obeyed at least one of their commands. That's what makes them feel good. That's like a crack addict, guys. That's like a drug addict that's like, I need this fix. He's got to obey something that I said. Okay, just make sure you're not blocking the sidewalk.
No, I was standing. I usually stand behind like a trash can, or like they got a sign there. It's already blocking it, so that way it's already been blocked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
What branch are you in?
I was in the Army.
Army?
Yes, sir.
I just got out of the Marines.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
God bless you.
What unit?
I was 802nd Engineers. I was 88 Mike.
Okay.
Fancy way, military transport specialist. Fancy way of saying truck driver.
Yeah, motor T.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
All right.
So,
You have a good one,
you have a
man.
blessed day. Thank you. All right, well, there you have it. Apparently somebody called the cops on me. It's probably one of these restaurants around here, thinking that they own the public sidewalk. A lieutenant with the Fernandina Beach Police Department showed up, tried to run me off. I stood my ground. He conferred with some superiors, I guess. I don't know who he conferred with since he's a lieutenant, but they ultimately decided to leave me alone. But I think what happened is they figured out who I am. They know who I am. Somebody probably said, yeah, leave him alone. You don't want to mess with that guy. But we can see how homeless folks are treated, right? If I would have been homeless, I would have been hooked up and taken to jail if I would have refused to move along, because whether people like it or not, homeless person has just as much right to be on a public sidewalk as anybody else. God
Yep.
bless the homeless veterans, and honor your oath out.
Amen. I love what Jeff does. I love that because it really unearths a whole bunch of nastiness that needs to be unearthed and peeled away. And how do you do that? You do it with goodwill. You do it with freedom. You do it with righteousness. You do it with truth. You do it with calmness. That's how you do it. That's how it's done. That's why I like how people handle it. When the Jeff Grays of this world handle it in a calm, logical fashion, you can really dispel a lot of ignorance. If you desire to be ignorant and free, you desire what never was and what never shall be. Let me show you something. Somebody was asking, how can we get in touch with Chili in the Clark County Detention Center? Here's how you do it right here. I'm going to drop this link in the chat if you guys can just share it out. Here's how you do it. And apparently there are some guidelines. It's the inmate name and ID. Let's see. What's his ID number? His ID number is, it's 1669561. Matter of fact, I'll try to put all this. Let's see. Inmate number. 1669561. And then his name and ID. De Castro. Let's see if I can. Oh, yeah, I can do that. Clark County Detention Center, and then the address. All right, so here I just dropped it in the chat right there. Here's how you, if you want to send him a book or something, here's some parameters. Letters must be on white paper and white envelopes. They must be typed or written in black ink, blue ink, or pencil. Guys, I'm telling you, this would encourage him greatly if you wanted to send him something through the mail. See, you may not mail the following items to a person in custody at CCDC in Las Vegas: greeting cards, cardstock, and postcards, colored envelopes, post-it notes, adhesive items, this kind of stuff right here. Cards, letters, or photos that have been taped, stapled, glued, or otherwise affixed together, blank stationery cards or envelopes, self-addressed envelopes, uncanceled stamps, cards with glitter, photos or cards exceeding this size right here, more than 15 photos, any book, magazine, newspaper, or publication, unless it is mailed directly from the publisher or commercial dealer. The books cannot be hardcover. Okay, so only non-hardcover books, paperbacks. Anything marked with glitter, crayon, whiteout, or an unidentified substance. Anything else the jail deems a health hazard. No packages unless you receive prior approval from the bureau lieutenant at this number right here. So I'm going to put that in the, man, wouldn't that be awesome if just a bunch of us got together today and tomorrow and just started sending him a bunch of stuff? He's going to be in there a minimum of another 90 days from today. He's got the next hearing on July 11th. Today is April 11th. That's 90 days from today. Yeah, it didn't say that, did it, unisex? It did not say that. 3D printed, dot, dot, dot. So here it is again. There's his inmate number is 1669561, 1669561. Yes, send him something. Let him know you're thinking about him. Yes, Mikey B says letters mean a lot. If you've ever been incarcerated, put a 1 in the room and let us know how much does it mean to you to receive a letter from the outside. Because I'm telling you, from what a lot of people have told me who've spent a lot of time in the tank, it gets very lonely. You're isolated. You feel like you're so freaking alone. Nobody's thinking about you. And then when you find out that just one person is thinking about you, it changes your entire perspective. If you think I'm wrong, let me know. Let me know. Mikey B says it is everything. Sybil says it means everything. Shanta says it means so much. I took a screenshot, so I've got it, says Dan. My mail takes 8 weeks. Number 1. Look at all the ones in the room. Hey, what's up, Wanda? You're never alone. God is with us, says F. So let me send, here's Chili's inmate number, and people are asking how to get in touch with them. And oh, you know what I should also include on this? I should also include the link, this link right here, so that you can follow these guidelines so that your stuff that you send is not rejected. So I just sent the link of everything I just sent, plus this link to show you what the parameters are. The book thing is kind of, let's see. It says you may not mail the following items, and it says any book, magazine. You may not mail the following. You may not mail any book, magazine, newspaper, or publication unless it is mailed directly from the publisher or commercial dealer. So you can't send it. Like you can't have a book that you already read and send it. It's got to come from the publisher or commercial dealer. The books cannot be hardcover. Let's see. All right. I think that's it. Yeah, I agree, Swamp Lover. Publisher has to be by purchasing order, says Brick. They gave me a P.O. box when I called and asked where to send the letter. Oh, really? What is the P.O. box, Bruce? So this is this not right then? I don't want you guys to send your stuff to the wrong place. Here, let's get this right before I leave. Guys, I appreciate you hanging out. Thank you so much. I don't want to waste anybody's time, but I do want to get this right. Thumbnail looks like the Gestapo. Yeah, I agree. God, people put some dumb comments in there. Oh, this is such a dumb comment. Thank you, Mark. They told you P.O. Box 43059? Huh. I wonder what the discrepancy is there. Let's see. Strict rules regarding incoming inmate mail. Friends and family are restricted in how and what they may send inmates. Everything is searched, all letters and packages for contraband. I wonder what that P.O. box is then. Or I wonder what this is then. Does anybody know? Does anybody know that they successfully sent Chili something? And if you did, what was the address you used? Yeah, I've been to jail, but I haven't been to jail for weeks and months and years. I've not. So When I think of me going to jail or a holding cell and them taking my shoelaces and all that stuff, that is nothing compared to being in there for weeks and months. That's nothing. Thanks, Tyrant Hater. I won't know if he got it unless he replies back. Shoot, you know what I should do? Next time I talk to him, we need to like get a verification on who he's gotten mail from and how he received it. Let's OTVO says PO Box 43059. So let me just add that to it too. Let's see. PO Box. Oh shoot, I just hit enter. Just a second. PO Box. PO. Oops. Ah, shoot, I did it again. Okay, let me try to get this right. Oh, wait, what did I just do? Waiting for printer connection. I don't need printer. Nope, I don't need to print anything. PO Box 43059. 43059. Is it PO Box 43059, Las Vegas, Nevada 89101? Can you give me that whole thing? Let's OTVO. I don't know why it split it up like that. Huh. That's weird. What can you send? Here's the list of everything that you can send and how you should send it. I don't think you can send a file or a digitally printed G-N. Las Vegas NF? It should be NV. Give me the whole thing. Let's OTVO. Give me the PO box and the whole thing. So I don't have to type it out. Just type it out. Let's see. Are we sure? PO box 43059. Las Vegas NV. Oh, somebody just did it. Brick just did. Oh, why can't I? Let's see. Inmate number. Clark. Okay, inmate name, inmate ID number, Clark County. 89116. 89116. Yeah. Okay, so look at Brick. Brick, could you just post that one more time? Yeah, Brick's got it right, I think. I doubt there's a PO box. Whatever the website indicates, call for yeah, just call to confirm. I don't want to give you false information and then your letter falls into the abyss in Nevada or wherever it goes. I have a screenshot if you're all right. Yeah, thanks, Brick. All right. I think that's it, guys. 2 hours. That's enough of me, right? Call to confirm. I agree, says Brick. Yeah. All right. Guys, I really appreciate you. Thanks for hopping on board. Thanks for helping Chili out. Don't forget the hoodies are like $50 now. Grab a trifold, grab a cop card, binge watch on some of his videos. It really helps out a lot. Thanks for keeping this channel alive. It's all us, guys. And we don't what? We don't stop. I appreciate you. I'll see you guys in the next video. Remember, the price of freedom is now and will always be eternal vigilance. And indifference to this notion is the means by which the people have and will secure their own oppression. Let's stop securing our oppression and let's start today. I will see you in the next video.